Hello and welcome to Ken Games. See if I can do like this. Today I wanted to show how I made my money in this expansion. As you can see, this is my list of characters on this server. Starting with Ellie. Now, every day I would do this twice, log in on all my characters. It's been a good long time since I've been in here, but hey, that's because I don't really need much money. At the moment though, I've got 1.765 million. So 1,765,000, which is, yeah, it's good. Just sold those Savage Blood to 66. Nice. That's 110 more. That's gonna be a 600, 700, about 800 now. As Savage Blood was a 66, I sold that one for. May as well take the 35 gold also. So next one is over here. The treasure and 400 oil. Now, well, this one will give 650. Is there any? Ooh, no. And then this one, of course. Good. That brings me to a total of 176 gold for logging in on this jar. And now, granted, that wasn't much on this jar alone, because I didn't have that many quests on, and not many for gold, because I've been sort of slacking doing this. Also, you could start using your resources a bit more than I do. Gold coming in again. 450 gold added to the other gold that I made. So let's get a couple of gold quests. Now these Primal Spirit can be transformed into something else, which again in turn will give me money. One quest here was nothing, but nothing really. And then that is started. We go to the next quest, next guy, Sharon. Now this character, I think I called him someone else before. I think he was called at one point Dark Dagonet. 550 gold plus 60 plus 45, that is 655 gold. Catching, setting on 300, setting on starting 100 or something like that, 55. So it's just about making a lot of gold here. Did I start anything over here? Nope. Which is nice. Alright, I can start this one. There's an underlying quest for 125. That is easy pickings. I think I've made soon as 1,000 gold. So we're on to the next Belena. Popping all the gold here. That is 600 gold extra. Well, then there's the gear, of course, which is probably not gonna need. So we start at 200 gold quests, 75 and a 40. That's nice. Those oil is good. In here, miss. And another treasure chest, which we can open for gear. Back. So we got a better back on. That's nice. Total gold 1,776,000 gold. Again, it's a small change, but it's small change coming in on 11 chars, which in the end is going to provide a good sum of money. 225, starting 100 and 55, 45, and well, better start some of these also. Like this. Okay. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Now, I also have a salvage yard on all of the chars, which mean that every time they complete the upper quests levels, they get a small package, which can be opened later. There's usually nothing really good in it, but what's in it can always be sold for a little chump change also. And that again adds up the total gold income. See, here was a 370. That's 300 straight off I start. And that was Selena. We go to Elena. My Elena char on this server here is outside of this in a way, because that's the only alliance char that I have on the server. So I used this once. It's actually my third priest, but I used this to help out some Germans, but they well, started to think that they were too good. So I left them and the guild broke. That's what happens when you piss me off. Because they really depended on me. And you can't piss people off you depend on. That's like cutting a tree where you're sitting on it, that branch. Ooh, I should open that one up if I can. That may give me 200 gold, although now this char only has almost 200,000, so that's nothing really, but it's not counted in the other money. Another one. Badian. I made this char once where people were talking about, oh, you could buy chars on the internet. So I thought to myself, what kind of name am I gonna level? I would never buy any chars or anything like that, but I wanted to take the piss on it, so I thought about eBay. So Badian. Badian. That's a little money again. And then we just lock off that one. Of course, as I said, you could harvest all your resources because you're at the garrison. You've got resources both herbal and mining wise, and of course you could do your how do I say it, your tailoring and stuff like that. And on each char, you'd start to make a lot of money doing that. So if I only used a little more time for it, I could have had probably way more gold. But the fun part of this is that this expansion I started with 440,000 gold. I didn't have more. Of course, I've always been rich compared in the expansions. First, when the classics was done, I had 8,000 gold, and that was a buttload of money back then. So I've made over 1 million in this expansion. Just doing this every day. 2 times a day, nothing more. And I've even spent a buttload of money buying gear. And even so, even spending money on other people's characters and gear just because, you know, you have some friends and you're like, well, I can give you a bit of money. Here's 10,000. Because really it's chump change. Making money. So I don't really remember what we started on, but I think we made a couple of thousand, because now it's 1,700,069 769,800. So yeah, I think we made a couple of thousand, which is not bad. Logging in twice a day, times that with 30 at least. Boom. Slow way of making money. Of course, as I said, you could do some more in the expansion, like do your herbs, do your mining, have that build up, and sell it, make something out of it. Like down there's always a mine that fills up, and you got your herbs over here, which, you know, you can make it a bigger herb thing. Fishing, you have everything. Don't need to go out in the landscape of gathering anything. But yeah, I once did that. And in the last expansion, I was flying around herbing a little, and the previous especially, but I've cut down on herbing for the last and before expansion. Didn't really bother because, hey, I got a field. Fuck that then. I can by just using your own fields, you can get enough for yourself to the raid. And yeah, I've got too much. Like I just sent like, oh, what was it, 60 flasks back to the raid leader. Didn't care. Pots, just making it. And gear thing. Nick. Well, that was a good one, but it did not have anything in it. Like an extra socket would have been nice, but it'll just bring it up to 725, and it's the same one then. So yeah, Sugar of Whispered Promises, same one. Soulbound. So disenchant. Well, that's the only thing that sucks. Another one of these. Phew. I got enough of those. Anyway, that's really how I make my money. Who was that? Mal? Oh. Hiatus? What the hell? Oh. That is just, you know, making some money for this video. So thank you for watching, and hope you can use some of it. Maybe in the next expansion, level your chars up, make some money, and you will be able to buy anything almost. Bye.